out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers Wrestling Podcast with your hosts Logan and
Hayden.
And we've got the suits and ties on, the bow ties are on because it is the inaugural BoW Hall of Fame class of 2026. We teased it in a little promo and now it is here. This Hall of Fame is special to us because it is more important than the WWE Hall of Fame. It includes everybody, all wrestlers of all experience and companies and whatever it may be. It doesn't have to just be a WWE wrestler or a WCW wrestler or anybody involved in that. It can be anybody from anywhere. As long as you're good at what you did, you have a shot. And this class that we've put together here, I'm very excited to talk about. So, hey, let's get into it.
Yep, exactly. This class, what we wanted to do with this Hall of Fame is we want to recognize the people that we think deserve the honor of being in the Hall of Fame without the BS, without the politics. We have no ill will towards anybody. We're trying to get the people we think deserve to have that spot in the Hall of Fame. So we're trying to get the best class in the best Hall of Fame possible. We're going to make this an annual thing, just like WWE does around WrestleMania time. So we wanted to start out this year with our first annual class. Now, I'll start with, we had certain criteria with how we were doing everything. We put guys in different categories. Now, it's possible that guys could be voted in different categories if it works out that way. So we split it up into male wrestlers, female wrestlers, tag teams, factions, managers/announcers, and matches. Now, we put a limit on how many people we were going to vote in for each category.
Yeah, we don't want to go crazy.
So, yeah, we didn't want to. We weren't just going to put in like 50 names.
We'd run out of people after a while.
So male wrestlers, we did 5. Female wrestlers, we did 3. Tag teams, we did 2. Factions, 1. Manager announcers, we did 2. And matches, we did 2. So that ended up giving us a total of 15 total members of our first Hall of Fame class. Now, the way we did the voting, it was just me and Lo. We had a certain amount of guys in each category, and then we ranked them, what we thought personally was most worthy, 1 to however many guys there were. I think they ended up being 26 male wrestlers.
Yeah, so we did 1 to 26, 1 being the most deserving, 26 being not.
Yes, exactly. And so then what we did was I did my own, Lo did his own, and then we added the 2 numbers up together, and whoever for the male wrestlers, like whoever had the 5 low scores, that's who got into the Hall of Fame class. It's the same with each category. So some of the names on there for male wrestlers, we tried to go throughout history. We had, guys like Bruno Sammartino, Vern Gagne, Antonio Inoki, more present guys, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, Cena, Sting, guys like Triple H, Shawn, Andre the Giant, all these different people. Same for female wrestlers. We went, Moolah, Mae Young, but then we also got Lita, Trish, Chyna, Bull Nakano. We just tried to. We wanted to make the inaugural class.
Each category spans a wide range of eras.
Yeah, we're going through all of wrestling history. Doesn't matter if it's WWE. This isn't WWE Hall of Fame. This isn't NWA Hall of Fame. This isn't WCW Hall of Fame, AEW Hall of Fame. This is Wrestling Hall of Fame. Anything that involves wrestling, we're trying to find the best things to put in our Hall of Fame. So I did want to mention a few stats before we get started with announcing who made the Hall. Yeah, for our 5 male wrestlers, there was a total of 59 World Championship reigns between the 5 guys.
That's pretty impressive.
There was also 8 WWE Hall of Fame inductions between the 5 wrestlers.
Man. Okay.
So they had some. We have some heavy hitters.
I mean, there's a reason this is they're in the first class.
Exactly. So for the women's, there was 19 women's world title reigns
All
between
right.
the 3 female wrestlers, and also we had 5 unanimous selections throughout this Hall of Fame, which we'll mention once they get
Between just me and you, unanimously.
Yes,
So
so
like
there
when
were
we were ranking
unanimous
them,
selections.
we had one person in each category was a number 1 for both of us.
Yes. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 of them we had the same number 1, which makes them a unanimous selection.
That's pretty good. I mean, we did these at different times at different areas, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We didn't talk about it beforehand. We just did it stone cold.
What?
And we decided who we thought was best, and ended up having to add the 6 categories, 5 unanimous selections. So, okay. So I think we're ready to get started here with the first, the 2026 Hall of Fame class.
Bring me the factions.
So with the factions only had one member getting voted in, mostly because we felt with factions, for the Hall of Fame especially, if we did more than one, we'll run out quickly.
Yeah. If we do this for like 4 or 5 years, then we'll run out of factions that are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So, your first inductee into the factions category of the BoW Hall of Fame was a unanimous selection, and it was the 4 Horsemen.
All right. Woo!
Yep, the 4 Horsemen made it in. Basically, the 4 Horsemen is the original faction. Before then, there was kind of like groups of people coming together, but they weren't like a whole like common goal going to one certain thing.
And the 4 Horsemen's the first group that had like big name, all to come together for one cause.
Yeah. It wasn't like a main wrestler, a main eventer, and then a bunch of like
scrubs.
Yeah. It was actually like a real legit group. Now, our members for the 4 Horsemen, we have obviously Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Ole Anderson, Barry Windham, and J.J. Dillon. So we have the original 4, and I included Barry Windham mostly because out of anyone that got added in later, he was the one that really held his weight in that group.
Mm-hmm.
I think he deserves that spot with the 4 Horsemen. So, stats for the 4 Horsemen. Really, I mean, we could go over all the individual stats. At one point, they did hold the NWA, the US, and the tag titles at the same time, which is something that would eventually other factions would do later on, but they're the first to do that. And they do have one. They are inducted. The 4 Horsemen are inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, so that's a big time deal for them. So, all right. So moving on. Now we did, besides the 15 categories, we did have a legacy award that we want to add in here for guys that really don't fall into any of our 6 categories.
They're not a wrestler. They're not a manager or announcer. They're more so like a booker, owner / guy like that would like do the shows like that, basically.
Yeah, somebody that we wanted to add. We just wanted to make an award for people that really didn't fit into the on-screen role of wrestling and was more behind the scenes. And so our first BoW Legacy Award winner is, you really had no other option. It's Vince McMahon Sr.
Woo!
Vince McMahon Sr. created basically what we have today. Now, obviously,
his son took it way further.
He made it the global brand it is today.
But Vince McMahon Sr. started doing cleaning up the territories and stuff.
When Vince McMahon Sr., he really built that brand that gave his son the chance to take it and make it global and worldwide. He started out mostly doing boxing promotions, stuff like that in Madison Square Garden. That was his hub.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I mean, that's what boxing was, the sport. So,
yes.
Especially in New York.
So he did a lot of that. He controlled a lot of the MSG arena and stuff like that. He promoted a lot there.
Yeah, that's why that's their home, WWE's home.
Yes, and then he broke out from the NWA branding when they had a dispute over Buddy Rogers becoming NWA champion. So he broke away from them, started, kept his own company going, built up stars like Bruno and guys like that. And he just he built the foundation for what eventually became the current day WWE.
It was WWF, right, back then?
Yeah, yep, WWW, Worldwide Wrestling Federation. So, yep. So we just wanted to honor him with the Legacy Award. Without him, there probably wouldn't be a lot of wrestling today. So, okay. So moving on, we're gonna go to our manager/announcer category. This category had 2 entrants in it. So we'll start out with the first entrant who had the lowest score. So he was the first member. We have Bobby the Brain Heenan.
All right. Woo!
Basically, legend. A guy who really...
When you think of a manager, he's who you think of, really.
He made the manager style like an actual skill. He made it an actual character that helped the match. He wasn't just standing out there to throw in the white towel for the wrestler. He made that a character in and of itself.
And he gave a voice to some bigger guys that couldn't talk on the mic.
Exactly. He was the mouthpiece. He was the guy that helped get some of these bigger guys that looked like $1 million but couldn't talk, get them over, get them time to shine. That was his big forte. He started out in AWA. He was really he kind of built what would eventually in WWF become the Heenan family stable. He did that a little bit in AWA. He had his most famous feud is his long-standing feud against Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
And how much he hates Hulk Hogan. But some of his stats, he obviously started the Heenan family stable in WWE. He was a WWF and WCW commentator.
He's famously known for blowing the is he the third man?
Yeah. But to be fair to him, it does make sense with his character because he always hated Hogan, so you'd be suspicious of him. It makes sense. He was part of one of the greatest announced teams ever with Gorilla Monsoon.
Yep.
Did the Tuesday Night Titan stuff, which was amazing. All that kind of stuff. One of his most famous feats was managing Andre at WrestleMania 3 in the main event. Excuse me. You have that. He was, for PWI, he was a 4-time Manager of the Year. And he is a 1-time WWE Hall of Famer.
All right.
So Bobby Brain definitely was the perfect guy to be the first inductee into our manager/announcer.
And he's the first true
category.
Dastardly heel manager.
Yeah.
Like you just did not like this guy.
Yeah. You hated the guy. So especially at the time when Hogan got Hulkamania going, Heenan was probably one of the most hated guys.
He's the supervillain.
Yes. So because you really didn't get a lot of him getting beat up. Now he did do the Weasel suit, which was always a classic. The Weasel suit match. So that was always a great add-in for him to get his comeuppance. So.
But anytime you see a Hogan Andre promo, Heenan's there.
Yep. I mean, that's one of the most famous main events. So it makes sense that he was pretty much the mouthpiece for Andre for that feud. So. Okay. Now the second inductee into the manager/announcer group is, he has so many names. The Oracle. The Advocate. I'm trying to think of the other ones.
The Wise Man?
The Wise Man. I knew I was forgetting one. Paul Heyman. Now, Paul Heyman is like a Swiss Army knife of wrestling. Nowadays, he's known mostly as the mouthpiece of the Beast. He's running the Vision. He was the Wise Man for the Bloodline. That was his thing. Back in the old days, he had the Dangerous Alliance stable in NWA WCW, where he built up some really future big time names like Stunning Steve Austin, and he had Rick Rude in that. They won a lot of titles in that stable. Leaves there, ends up becoming the booker and then eventual owner of the ECW territory, and taking that almost worldwide.
Almost, he got close. Ran out of money.
They didn't have enough money, but I mean, he created a cult brand of violence and attitude that pretty much paved the way for the Attitude Era.
And it'll never be forgotten to this day. Like, people still.
No, it became a cult following. It basically changed the business, turned the business on its head, and that was mostly through Paul Heyman's ability to create stories that you actually cared about, and then adding in that extra violence that really wasn't around back then. You didn't really see a lot of that. There was a few matches that would have some stuff like that, but nothing to the effect that ECW went into. So, and then, like I said, managing Brock, he took Brock as the next big thing. He had the run with Punk, when Punk had his long reigning title run, and then with the Bloodline, that amazing run from 2020 all the way up to this last year's WrestleMania, 2025. So,
well, I mean, it ended after Roman lost at 40, but then he kind of went back with the whole in 41 with him a little bit, and when Punk asked for the favor and everything. But
so then with so I like to include one of the things that I think is really the standard of wrestling in terms of like giving awards and stuff like that is Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So in some of our stats, I included that kind of those accolades in there. So for him, for PWI, he was a one-time manager of the year, and he was part of the one-time faction of the year with Bloodline.
I bet that manager of the year was 2014 when Brock broke the streak.
It was, if I remember right, it was when he was doing the Dangerous Alliance, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then probably his most glowing accomplishment in modern day is that he's been a part, now he won't be this year, but he's been a part of the last 5 WrestleMania main events on the last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helps when you got Roman
as a manager. Exactly. So, just amazing career, and really not just a streamlined career. It went all over the place. Commentating,
he did a lot of stuff.
Commentating, basically the all of 2001 as the Alliance commentator. He did that. He did the.
He's booked SmackDown before.
Booking. He did the writing, all that kind of stuff. So, just a real Swiss Army knife of wrestling. So he was the perfect guy to be the second inductee into the manager announcer wing.
Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved.
All right. So now we move on to matches. Now we put down. In our ballot, I tried to pick the best matches that I felt represented what wrestling is.
If you show this to somebody that's never watched wrestling before,
exactly,
you want them to be excited about wrestling. Some of the matches on these nominees and the ones that got in are the matches you want to show them.
Exactly. And there was 2 matches that really just kind of stood head and shoulders above all the others. And we both pretty much agreed on what those 2 matches were. So the first match that's getting inducted into the matches wing of the Hall of Fame is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25.
Woo! I mean, it had to be there. It had to be there.
In my opinion, greatest wrestling match I've ever watched. The story leading up to it. Yep, watched it live. Story leading up to it is top tier. And what I think is even better is that it was coming off of a horrible storyline that Shawn Michaels was in with JBL.
Oh, right.
There really was no lead into this match until he wins it wasn't even a number 1 contender. It was a match to see who's going to fight The Undertaker against Kozlov. So Shawn ends up beating Kozlov. He ends up getting the match with Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Then they really start building into the story. They build into the story, and they really play off of how Undertaker is this dark being, and Shawn Michaels is like this reborn man coming from the light side.
Yes.
So they're building the story up. They have some of my favorite interactions leading up to this. This WrestleMania really had a lot of good builds to their matches, but Shawn and Undertaker by far, they have the moment where Shawn comes out dressed as the Undertaker, but white version.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He comes out like that, and then Undertaker comes out from under the ring, like through the ring, tries to drag him down, but Shawn gets away. They also have the funeral where Undertaker comes out and they have the casket in the ring, and Shawn gets out of the casket and super kicks him.
Nice.
A lot of Shawn super kicking Undertaker in the build to this. So that made
I'd say
it really...
this is one of Shawn's better, like build up to a match type of things.
Yeah,
he was on top of things.
Yeah, and he was able to play kind of a heel character. It wasn't like obviously heel, but he was able to kind of be the aggressor in the feud against Undertaker. So that leads us into the match. You get Shawn coming down from the heavens, dressed as the White Undertaker.
Yep.
He comes down on that lift all the way down. Then he comes out to the regular Heartbreak Kid music, Sexy Boy. And then you have Undertaker come up through the stage from the depths of heck.
Is that the one where the hands are all trying to grab him?
That's not down. No, that's not the hands. He just comes up like through the smoke.
Okay.
In this one, and he comes out, and then they put on an absolute classic. I mean, the match is amazing, start to finish. I mean, Undertaker said it on multiple times lately that it's the closest he's ever been to having a perfect match. This is Undertaker when he's at his peak prime.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on a podcast episode, but we've talked about how the late 2006, 2007 Undertaker all the way to like 2009, 10, 11 maybe is like just like peak Undertaker.
Oh yeah, physically. He's in the best physical condition he's in. He has the best matches. I mean, he just flipped a switch. Once he kind of came back from the American BoW character, he kind of just came back as that dead man character, and when he got into the groove with that, he really just kind of went into that MMA style with the gloves and everything.
Yeah, Michael Cole used to say he was the best striker.
Yeah, and he just hit a switch there where he was putting on classic matches. So they have a great match. I mean, there's so many good spots in this match, so many good false finishes. You do have the terrible spot with the cameraman not getting close enough and
Sim Snuka
and missing in the catch of the Undertaker over the top.
How that doesn't go badly, I have never known.
I mean, if he doesn't tuck his chin in a little, he breaks his neck right there. But I don't know how they got so lucky.
I don't know how Sim didn't know to catch him. He wasn't in the right spot.
No, it was just a weird thing. I wouldn't put 100% blame on Snuka there, because the whole thing, Shawn pulls him into it.
Yeah.
And so he pulls him into it, and he just wasn't ready.
No.
And Undertaker said it too. He kind of went into business. He realized that he wasn't going to catch him, right? And he just kind of let it happen. He could have got under there to save him better. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sure Undertaker took care of it later. So
probably.
I mean, I guarantee it. So you have that happen, but I mean, that match ends up great. You get a couple sweet chin musics. You get a couple choke slams. I think he hits a tombstone and Shawn kicks out. And then you have the spot where Shawn tries to hit the moonsault on him, and he catches him, hits him with the tombstone, and pins him. It's a great match. Steals the show at that WrestleMania. It wasn't even the main event. Has
a couple good near falls in too.
It has so many good near falls.
Those later Undertaker matches with Shawn and Triple H and even the Brock one when he beats a streak has some really good near falls.
Oh yeah, and the faces, like when Shawn kicks out of the tombstone the one time, and Undertaker's like in disbelief. Undertaker and Shawn are two of the best at like telling a story in the ring. and it's on par in this match. So it definitely deserved. It's my favorite match of all time. I think it's the greatest match of all time. It definitely deserved a unanimous vote from us.
Definitely.
It deserved to be in our first Hall of Fame class. So, but yeah, so Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25 is the first match that we inducted. The second match was really close to being a unanimous. Just missed out. But this is one of those matches that is referenced throughout, especially by Dave Meltzer. Any match where you got Kenny Omega and Okada, you're going to have at least a 5-star match. They had 4. I'm pretty sure every single one of them's over
I think so.
5 stars. In this run, they had a New Japan in early 2017 and then 2018. They had a run of just amazing matches. Now, I know the famous one is the 7-star hour-long draw that everyone talks about. Dave Meltzer gives 7 stars to. Only match I think he's ever given 7 stars to. But in this one, my favorite one of their feud is the one we decided to put in. Is their match at Wrestle Kingdom 11, 2017, for the IWGP Championship. Okada Omega. This was their first encounter. Omega's coming off winning the climax. He's finally getting his chance. He had just in 2016. He had just moved up from the juniors.
Yeah, he had been dominating the juniors.
He was dominating the juniors. He's in Bullet Club. He was dominating the juniors in Bullet Club. He had formed the Elite with the Young Bucks. They were kind of doing their own thing because they were all the juniors of New Japan. So they were kind of doing their own thing of the Bullet Club. They were kind of like branching themselves off, yet still part of the main group. You had Okada, who had just come back a couple years before this, and really just staked his claim when he defeated Tanahashi for the title. And by this point, he is the man in New Japan. He's the Rainmaker. He is the flag bearer for this company.
Well, he beat the man. He beat Tanahashi, so.
Beat Tanahashi, beat Nakamura, he beat Naito. He was the top dog. So he's coming into this match, and one of my favorite parts of this match is the intro video for the match. You get Okada and Omega talking about this match is for the future of New Japan. The New Japan is going in a new direction. Who is going to lead that future? And so that's what the whole build-up is to it. Then you get the 2 great entrances. Kenny Omega comes out, Terminator-esque outfit.
I love that attire.
Epic intro. Okada comes out with the Rainmaker gimmick, so he's got all the money flying down. He's walking out. It's got big match feel. Wrestle Kingdom, at this point, when they were hitting their stride, like 15, 16, 17, 18, the aura of Wrestle Kingdom in general was just off the charts. And so this match had that big match feel. So they go at it, and man, I mean, if you want to talk about just a masterclass of technical wrestling, this is one of those matches. You get going for quick finishes early, both get reversed. One of the things I love about Omega, especially in his matches, is he really loves to do, especially in the big matches, he loves to do crazy variations of his finisher into reversals. Mm-hmm. So, like, he'll go for his finisher and then he'll somehow get reversed into Okada's finisher, and they'll reverse it. There's so many different ways that they play that card.
Yeah, he chains it together into some cool sequences.
And he always brings it out in those big time matches where they'll chain different ways to get to the finishers.
He did one against MJF where they did a Poison Rana into a Canadian Destroyer into a kick out, and then I think maybe it was a One-Winged Angel in there too. I can't remember exactly, but
yeah. Like, I know at one point this match is going One-Winged Angel. Okada kind of has his arm, flips around, then tries to go for the Rainmaker, And then Omega reverses that. You know, it's just there's so many classics. He hits so many freaking V-trigger knees to Okada. There's one he hits when he's like Okada's like up against the ropes, where my God, it looked like he knocked his head off. He hit him so hard with it. They have some crazy spots on the outside that I really liked. There's one where Omega jumps out over the they don't have like the barricade. They have like the little just guardrails,
little steel rails.
Yeah, and so Okada was on the other side, and Omega jumps over. They have an insane table spot. Well, they have a spot where Okada's laying on the floor, and they put the table on top of him, and Omega jumps off, kind of hits like the coup de grace.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Onto the table onto him. They eventually set the table up on the outside, and Omega's going to go for a one-winged angel through it, and Okada ends up reversing it and throwing him over through that table. And that table that's not a WWE table.
No,
that table
Japan has different, yeah.
And the framing of the table did not break, so he's kind of laying in this table, just laying there. Oh man, that had to hurt.
Yeah, Japan's tables are nasty.
So then what we get to the end of the match, we get some pretty good false finishes, hitting some of the finishers, but it ends up with Okada hitting the Rainmaker finally, putting Omega away, beating him, retaining the title, and then we're gonna end up getting the subsequent rematches in this series of feuds. But this is the match that really put Kenny Omega on. I mean, right now he's going by the God of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This is the match that really put him on that path. This is when they start talking about Kenny Omega as being one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yep.
With this match. This obviously, he leads into the great 7-star match that Meltzer has, and then they have a couple more matches where Omega eventually wins. He has the feud with Cody, where they split up the Bullet Club. You know, this is where he starts projecting
I think this is around the time where I started learning about Kenny Omega and learning about New Japan more. Because before that, I didn't really... I knew about it, but I didn't really know much about it, like what was going on, who were the top guys, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And for me, personally, when they got the deal with Access TV, and they would put some of these matches on there, that's when I really started getting into it a lot more. I knew about Tanahashi.
I remember you watching the show and stuff.
Yeah, I knew about Tanahashi. I knew about Nakamura. You know, I knew the main guys, but I really didn't know any. Like, you knew the Americans that were over there, like the Good Brothers, guys like that. I knew about,
and we knew about the Young Bucks because TNA.
Yeah, and they were Generation Me before they went to there. And there was a few guys like some of the guys that transcended, like Guerrillas of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I had known about a little bit, guys like that, but. When AJ went over there was really when I started paying more attention. Because AJ's in my top 5.
Yeah, you're a big AJ guy.
And when I started seeing what he was doing over there, then you see him go against Nakamura, you see him go against Okada, Tanahashi. I mean, those were some great matches. So you got in there, and then you learn about guys like Omega that you really didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And Okada. I mean, the only thing I knew about Okada before that was that he was like Samoa Joe's little like Green Hornet friend.
I forgot about
in
that.
TNA for a little bit. So, but yeah. So great match, great, and I think it deserves to be in our Hall of Fame over the 7-star match, just because I think this was the match that put them on the map to have the 7-star match.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think for us. Let's reward that match. Obviously, eventually, someday,
who knows?
We'll probably put that 7-star match in there. I mean, it's going to be hard not to. But for me and you, I think the debut one-on-one match they have is the match that belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because it spawns the rest of it. Without that, you're not getting the rest of that feud that is so legendary.
Yep.
So, okay. So now we're going to move to our tag team section of the Hall of Fame. We voted in 2 tag teams. We're going to say that our first tag team was a unanimous selection by both of us. And I mean, honestly, how is it not a unanimous selection? They're the greatest tag team ever. It is the Road Warriors Or if you want to call them the Legion of Doom, that's fine. I love them as the Road Warriors. Animal and Hawk. You can throw Paul Ellering in there as the manager. That was when they're at their peak. They had, surprisingly, only 4 tag team title reigns, like world tag team title reigns.
Mm-hmm.
2 in the WWF, 1 NWA, and 1 AWA. They are in the Hall of Fame, all together in the WWE Hall of Fame. So, but the Road Warriors are famous for the brutality they brought to tag team wrestling.
You don't see the big type of guy. Those are muscular, huge dudes that are tag
These were a bodybuilder tag team that you believed every time they were in the ring that they were trying to kill your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
They got screwed when they went to WWF because they got so watered down. WWF didn't respect them. They got really hot in AWA. That was when they were at their peak of their powers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then their most famous stuff in NWA was doing the skyscraper matches, and then being one of the first teams that ended up in the War Games.
Mm.
They were on Team Dusty Rhodes against 4 Horsemen. They did from PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They were 4-time Tag Team of the Year, and they had a 1-time Feud of the Year when they were part of Dusty Rhodes' team going up against the 4 Horsemen. So, love the Road Warriors, love all their matches. I mean, they basically got the knockoff of them ended up being Demolition and WWF.
That's right, Demolition, yeah.
That was more just to almost make fun of them.
I think it was, yeah.
So, they're just, I mean, I'm not counting when Animal came back after Hawk passed away and had the whole Heidenreich run.
I forgot about that.
They did win a title then, but I mean, this is just Animal Hawk. They were in their prime. They were for a tag team, they were on par with the biggest draws in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, you really couldn't say that about many tag teams.
And they spawned one of our greatest or favorite linebackers in James Laurinaitis.
That's true. Great Buckeye. Love James Laurinaitis. Little animal. So, but yes, it's totally deserving to be in our Hall of Fame class.
Absolutely.
Unanimous selection. Our other tag team that we voted in. Now, I do want to go behind the curtain a little bit. This tag team got in this first Hall of Fame class by a tiebreaker vote.
Ooh.
So there was a 3-way tie for our second tag team to get in. And this tag team ended up getting the vote to get in. It is the team that totally reeks of awesomeness. Edge and Christian. Or, as I've been finding out,
no, it's not.
It's Christian and Edge.
It's not
And
Christian.
I never knew that.
It's because it's not.
Howard Finkel keeps saying Christian and Edge.
Because the Fink didn't know what he was doing.
I'm just saying. Apparently, we've been whitewashed to believe that it was always Edge and Christian, but in reality, it was Christian and Edge.
Because Edge and Christian just is better.
And it blows my mind that that's what happened.
You put the shorter name first and the longer name last.
I guess not. So, obviously, their run from 99 to 2001 is one of the greatest.
Yeah, that's when they win all their
runs.
titles. They win like 7 titles in the span of like 6 months or something.
They did not last long. They were a product of the Attitude Era. They both go on to have amazing careers individually.
It took Christian a little bit, but he got there.
And he made a name for himself outside of WWE too. So that's the one thing you got to say about Christian. When he's not in WWE, he's a main event player. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
WWE just had a weird thing.
They didn't see. Yeah, they didn't see him as
Vince, especially.
They gave him a couple world title runs, but they flip flopped it with Randy.
So, like you said, they were 7-time tag team champions. They had 2 Pro Wrestling Illustrated awards because they had 2 times where they were match of the year.
Nice.
They had the amazing match at WrestleMania 16, the Triangle Ladder match. Which
gives birth to the TLC.
The TLC at SummerSlam, the first one. And they had TLC at WrestleMania 18.
Yes.
Right?
No, 17.
No, 17. Sorry. 17. So you had that basically 1 year span for WrestleMania 16, SummerSlam, WrestleMania 17, where they end up winning all those. So they picked up all the wins
Which one do they they rest the table on top of the two ladders in a bridge?
That's the triangle ladder match.
Okay.
That's what spawns the TLC.
Yeah.
Because in that match, they had used some chairs, they'd used some tables, and so then the Dudleys being the table experts, Hardys being the ladder guys, Edge Christian would do the concerto with the chairs. It just kind of all worked out that
makes sense. Everybody's got their specialty.
TLC match. So they ended up winning the first one, SummerSlam. They win the second one. They were undefeated at WrestleMania. They were undefeated in TLCs.
Nice.
So, Edge and Christian, I mean, and we're not even talking about matches, just the comedy that they brought. ECK is one of my favorite trio groups of all time. And they barely wrestled together. It was just the three idiots joking around, doing stupid stuff all the time.
And then Mick Foley entered in there.
And then when Mick Foley got in their dynamic, it was amazing. The 5-second pose was amazing.
Putting the soup in the toilet, throw it up.
Christian's pretending to throw up, and Mick Foley catches him. That's a great moment.
That's one of my favorite spots.
They do the jug band with Kurt Angle.
Oh, man.
When they put the fake teeth in.
Yep.
That's a great spot.
Is it both Edge and Christian, or is it just Edge that does the "you suck" with the pictures he writes on the back of them, but Kurt doesn't read it?
That is just Edge.
It's just Edge. Okay.
He's starting that feud with Kurt Angle. That's when that starts.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, that was a great thought in there, and everything really, everything that Edge and Christian touched. Yeah. Comedy-wise, pretty much turned to gold. And they had great partners.
Once they got out of the Brood.
Yes, they got out of the Brood. And we're not even talking about the ladder match with the Hardys they have in 99 at No Mercy. That's a great match, too. That was like the first ever tag team ladder match. So there's just so many good... they just were such good innovators. And really turned... a lot of what the WWE does today with like the ladder match was
they changed specialty matches, because before that you had some like ladder matches and you had high flying guys in there, but nobody really took like crazy risks off the ladders or anything like that. But then when you got the Edge and Christian, you got the Hardys, you got the Dudleys, everybody started after that. Everybody started trying to one up with different moves off ladders, jumping off ladders, putting people through ladders, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. They took it to a whole nother level. They totally deserve to be in here. In our first Hall of Fame class.
Do you want to mention the people that they had to beat out in the
Oh, so yeah,
tie?
in the tiebreaker, it funny enough was Edge and Christian, it was the Dudley Boys, and it was the Hardys.
It's poetic.
And Edge and Christian ended up getting that, like always. Edge and Christian get the vote, get the win, and they move on.
Well, if you know me, anything with Edge is going to be top tier, so
of course. So that is our tag team section of the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah, we move on to the female wrestlers.
The women.
We had 3 female wrestlers. Don't ever say that again, by the way. That was super
I didn't know if you were gonna blow past it or not.
My God, that was creepy.
The women.
God, disgusting. Female wrestlers. We voted in 3. We did have a unanimous selection in the female wrestler category. The unanimous selection, the first member of the female division in the Hall of Fame.
I think people are going to know who it
is Trish Stratus.
Yeah, pretty obvious.
So, 7-time women's champion, 1-time hardcore champion. She's in the WWE Hall of Fame and was the 03 Diva of the Decade. For the
and
WWE.
she's really the archetype, the blueprint for all modern divas, or all modern women.
Yes, she kind of broke the mold that you didn't just have to be beautiful, you also could have talent. Like they were and to be fair to her, they hired her just to be like the model manager.
Yeah,
type.
I mean, she was barking like a dog for Vince.
And she broke that mold trained her butt off, and became an amazing wrestler. And in my eyes, obviously the women now are just at another level, but she didn't get the chance. And Trish Stratus
she was in the wrong era
of what the women get now in terms of training and exposure. Trish Stratus would be the best women's wrestler.
Oh yeah,
ever,
she'd be up there. She'd have the popularity of a Rhea
if she
or
would
the
get the
accolades
time,
of a Charlotte.
the training. She's having to do bikini photo shoots. She's having to do all
Pillow
this kind of crap. Super Bowl commercials in her in a towel, and she's still trying to train how to be a wrestler. And she ended up doing what she did. It was amazing. She was a 4-time Woman of the Year wow, I can't talk, for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and she was also a Woman of the Decade for Pro Wrestling
As she
Illustrated.
should be.
So, by far, I would say the first female wrestler that became a mainstream attraction.
Yeah, I mean, she main evented a Monday Night Raw.
Yes. There's been other women before her that were big names, but she was the first mainstream attraction, I believe.
Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, people were buying tickets to actively see Trish. So, not just because she was hot.
Yes. So Trish Stratus was our unanimous selection in. Next up, we have a little bit of a controversial selection. Now, I'm going to preface this with saying we totally understand the allegations and historical context of this woman. They came to light when they tried to name a battle royal after her, and all heck broke loose. But in our Hall of Fame, we are strictly focusing on the in-ring work. We understand there's some controversy with this woman, but you can't deny the career she built up. Now, did she bury some women along the way to keep that career? Probably. We're not going to just sugarcoat that. She pretty much probably did. But our next woman to go into our Hall of Fame class is the fabulous Moolah. Now, like I said, she exploited a lot of women, and she probably kept a lot of women down when she could have helped build a lot of good careers. But you can't deny her amazing success that she had in her career. She was a 8-time women's champion, 4 in the NWA, and 4 in the WWF. She also was a 3-time women's tag team champion. She is in the WWE Hall of Fame, and she has the longest reigning world's women's championship of all time, which will never be broken. WWE has her holding the title from 1956 until 1984.
Jesus Christ.
So, not saying that she had a lot of matches in that time, but the official record is she had a 28-year-long reign until she lost to Wendy Ricker at the Brawl to end all. So, you can't deny that that's probably, I didn't look it up, but I would assume that's the longest reign of any world champion ever. But to be fair, there was a lot of women going for the title, and obviously she probably held a lot of women down that probably could have beat her for that title.
Hogan says that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, she pulled the Hogan before Hogan was around. So we will say that Fabulous Moolah is in the Hall of Fame, but we are not denying that she probably kind of coerced her career for the better. So
who hasn't?
Well, I mean, it's all politics. But like we said at the beginning of this Hall of Fame episode, our Hall of Fame is no politics, no BS. We're just picking wrestling careers that we think were the best. So, I mean, we're probably going to avoid one name in this. I think you all know who that name is. That's a little different story. I mean, unless we find out Moolah started murdering people, I mean, maybe we won't go there, but well,
I don't know. Maybe we want to be a little edgy, a little controversial.
I don't feel like being that edgy. So, all right. So now the last woman that made it into the first class in the Hall of Fame is Lita.
All right. It's strange that you put Lita last instead of putting her right after we talked about Trish, when she's very highly connected to Trish.
Well, to be fair, I'm doing this by order of votes.
Oh, okay.
So Moolah got more votes than Lita.
Okay.
Moolah had set a combined total score of 7. Lita had combined total score of 9. So that's what order I'm going in.
Okay.
Lita was a 4-time Women's World Champion. She had, surprisingly, I actually forgot about this, is a 1-time Women's Tag Team Champion with Becky Lynch. Totally forgot that happened.
Oh yeah, she did come back for that.
She's in the Hall of Fame. She was the first Diva draft pick in the very inaugural 2002 brand draft. I thought that was a fun fact. She was the first Diva selected.
Cool.
And she has Pro Wrestling Illustrated Awards. She is a 1-time Woman of the Year. And she is a 1-time Feud of the Year. Can you guess what the feud was?
Trish?
No, surprisingly not.
I don't know.
She got Feud of the Year for Edge and Matt Hardy.
Oh,
because she was involved in that.
Yeah, because
so
Edge
she
is
got
sleeping with Matt's girlfriend.
Yep. So she got the 1-time Feud of the Year. She was involved in it. So it was Edge and Lita versus Matt Hardy.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of surprised by it too. I saw she had a Feud of the Year, and I looked it up, and it was for that, not for Trish.
And we talked about
that did surprise me.
We talked about how Trish kind of broke the mold of women's wrestling. I mean, if Trish broke the mold, then Lita completely shattered it.
Oh, and before Lita, there was no high-flying women.
And there was no women that looked like Lita.
No. She came in as a completely, totally off-brand character and made it her own. Once she got her injuries, she slowed down. Her last couple years in the ring were definitely...
Well, I mean, she took some nasty bumps in her career.
The broken neck she had when she was filming in... I forget what TV show she was filming the episode for. She breaks her neck in that. She has the horrible spot in the main event match on Raw.
Oh, right.
But she jumps out for the suicide dive and kind of lands
There's a spot that sticks in my head. She takes a power bomb on the outside from a guy on the concrete. I forget who she's facing.
I'm pretty sure, isn't that Rhino in the TLC?
Maybe. But there's a spot where she takes a power bomb.
But she has the TLC. She's in TLC 2 at the WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
She has a couple big spots in that match.
Yeah, she was taking bumps that women didn't take back then.
No, when she got with Edge and they had that whole feud, he ended up becoming, in the main event scene, and she was a huge part of his title reigns and his feud with John Cena.
Oh yeah, Cena loved messing with Lita.
They did embarrass her on her way out of her last. She lost her last match. They a month earlier give Trish a win in the title in her last match, and then in Lita's last match she loses, and then Crime Time sells all her lingerie to the fans.
I forgot about that.
They kind of gave Lita an FU out the door.
God, Crime Time.
But she eventually came back. She got in the good graces. She was in the Royal Rumble. She's been in a few Royal Rumbles. She had the tag team run with Becky. They kind of let her have a nice little send-off. She did didn't she team with Trish? Not at Evolution, but at one of the pay-per-views.
I think she's teamed with Trish, yeah.
So they kind of had that going. So, and like you said, Lita's a trailblazer. She was doing things. She was part of Team Extreme. She was doing things that no other woman was doing at that time. She has a great match with China, which is China's last pay-per-view match in WWF. It's a really good match for the title. It was right after WrestleMania 17.
Man, China was gone that long out of WWF.
Yeah, so great. I mean, Lita had a great career. And the sad part for her is a lot of people are going to remember her for that feud with Edge and Matt Hardy. I think now that time has passed so far, I definitely think people remember her for being that high-flying trailblazer. But for her while, her legacy was kind of strained there.
Yeah, true.
Dated CM Punk, so she has bad taste in men.
She was a salute.
Yeah, it happens. Triple H and Cena would call her out on it. So, but like I said, great career. I mean, 4 world women's titles.
Yeah,
So
very worthy of being.
yes, very very worthy.
And she was the other half of that Raw main event. So
yes, her and Trish were the first women's main event. I think she does the. Is she the one that's in the steel cage with Victoria? I believe that's her.
I think so.
If I remember right. So, yeah, she had a great career. So, okay. So now we're moving on. That was the female division.
Now it's time for
of
the
the
big
Hall of Fame
boys.
class. So now we've got our 5 male wrestlers that are the first.
Save the number 1 entry until last.
Okay, I'll do this one backwards.
Yeah.
So we got our 5 male wrestlers that are in the first annual class of the BoW Hall of Fame. The number 5 guy who had 13 votes coming in was in a tiebreaker with another guy
Controversy.
to get in. So he won the tiebreaker. The guy is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right. What?
He ended up beating the Hitman Bret Hart in the tiebreaker.
And people might be wondering why Stone Cold was even in a tiebreaker, but because there's people ahead of him that might be a little bit more deserving.
Yeah, and to be fair to Stone Cold, he might have been the hottest money-making wrestler, but it also was probably for the shortest period of time.
Yeah, it was like what are those it's like a comet or something that like bursts hot for like a second and then it's done or something like that.
Like a star, just gets really hot real quick and then it's gone.
Yeah, he had like a 3-year run.
From 96 to about 2001.
Oh, a little bit longer.
It was 5 years, but we're comparing it to other guys on this list. It's hard to.
Yeah, that is true.
5 years at the peak, probably when, let's be real, wrestling was probably the hottest in the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
He took the reins.
And it doesn't get there without Austin.
No, by far. He had one of the greatest feuds in that time with Vince McMahon.
Yep.
So
and then
let's
The
go
Rock
through, and then obviously in wrestling terms, The Rock.
Yeah.
But in terms of just a feud,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Vince McMahon by far. So his accomplishments: he's a 6-time world champion, 2-time Intercontinental, 6-time tag team champion, 4 with the WWF, 1 with the NWA, and 1 with WCW. He has 2 WCW US championships, 2 WCW TV championships. He is a 3-time Royal Rumble winner, 2-time Slammy Award winner. He won the $1 Million Championship. He was a 1996 King of the Ring.
Birth of Austin.
He is a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. 1 by himself and 1 just last year for the match with Bret Hart. For Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he was a 2-time Feud of the Year, both with I think, if I remember, 1 with McMahon, 1 with Rock. 1-time Match of the Year, 3-time Wrestler of the Year, and he was a 2-time PWI #1 in the top 500 they do.
And let's be real, if he doesn't break his neck in that Owen Hart piledriver spot, he probably has even more accolades than what you just mentioned.
Oh, and he probably has a longer career. But Austin has said that when he broke his neck, it was almost a blessing in disguise because he had to focus completely on character work. And that's when he started doing. He first did the Stone Cold Stunner to McMahon, because that was when McMahon was telling me he had to go home and rest. And he said he don't want to rest, blah blah blah.
Yeah, Vince never took a good stunner.
And he stunned him. And then that's when they were doing a lot of the backstage stuff, where there was like a 4-week period when he's just doing the driving vehicles, doing the cement truck in Vince's car, doing the beer truck where Vince is swimming in the beer.
Yeah. That Kurt
what was the other stuff? The Zamboni.
Oh, right, the Zamboni.
I'm trying to think of all the stuff he drove. Stone Cold, that injury, the neck injury, it kind of affected the way he had to do things. He became a fan favorite because he was doing stuff outside of the ring. He started that whole Attitude Era with attacking Vince and doing all the stuff, anti-authority, everything like that. He became the white hot face of that generation. You don't think about the Attitude Era without Stone Cold, and Stone Cold was that main guy in one of the hottest times in all of wrestling history.
Yes, he was.
So he deserved to be in our first ever Hall of Fame class. The next guy on the list is the Italian Stallion,
Oh,
Bruno Sammartino.
all right.
Two-time WWF World Champion, a one-time U.S. Tag Team Champion, two-time International Tag Team Champion. He's in the Hall of Fame. In 2014, he got a bronze statue from the WWE. For PWI, he had five-time Match of the Year and was a one-time Wrestler of the Year. The one amazing thing about Bruno was that he had probably a reign that's probably never going to be broken in modern history. His first title reign with the WWF Championship, the longest reign ever. Off the top of my head, I think it's like 2,853 days, maybe.
Probably somewhere around there.
Can't remember off the top of my head, but it's insane. It was like almost a 12-year reign. It was crazy. Bruno really just brought a lot to the table. He was the first star that the WWF built their company around. They had Buddy Rogers for that first championship run. That's kind of why they split from the NWA. But Bruno was that first megastar that he was kind of that ethnicity for the New York area that really just kind of fit the mold of what they were looking for.
He's the working man.
He main evented millions of cards at Madison Square Garden. He basically built that place up for wrestling. Had some great matches. He kind of was going out of his career by the time the 80s boom golden era was coming in. So he was on a few big cards. The 1980 Showdown Shea is a big one for him. This is past his WWF Championship prime, but he had a big feud with Larry Zbyszko, his protege, and stuff like that. So Bruno's just a living legend. A guy that we felt really deserved to be in the first Hall of Fame class because he was kind of that real, especially for the WWE, that first real wrestler that really was what you would call a box office draw.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we wanted to give him credit because nobody really thinks about that era of wrestling anymore because it's just a whole different style. So we wanted to put him in the Hall of Fame because he still needs to be talked about even though he's 50 years ago.
Yes, and that reign as world champion, that's never going to be matched. I mean, we thought the Roman reign here recently
Romans was crazy, and it was only, what was it, 1,100 or 1,300 or something like that?
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not going to touch. It would never even come close to touching what Bruno did. So Bruno carried this company. Without Bruno, there'd be no Hulk Hogan. There'd be no Stone Cold. There'd be no John Cena. So Bruno was that foundation piece that really set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on to our next guy, we have the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Woo!
Now, Ric Flair, in WWE's eyes, he gets a lot of crap.
He was the competition.
For what they do, because he was the NWA's golden child. So there's the whole thing about how he's a 16-time world champion. Cena broke his record, blah, blah, blah. In reality, Ric Flair, if you count everything that is actually counted in the wrestling world, is a 21-time world champion.
All right.
He has 2 WWE titles, 9 NWA World Championship, 8 WCW World Championships. It was a 2-time International WCW champion, which was when they kind of split apart from the NWA, was like the NWA version. That it was the International was the big gold belt. The WCW was the 10 pounds of gold, and then they ended up merging to the big gold belt.
Cool.
Then we've got, he was a 6-time NWA WCW US champ, 2-time TV champion, 3-time NWA Tag Team champion. In the WWE, he was a 1-time Intercontinental champion, 3-time World Tag Team champion. He was a 1-time Slammy Award winner. He, in 2017, got a bronze statue, just like Bruno. The 92 Rumble winner, the Tear in the Eye, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer with himself right before he retired at WrestleMania 24, and then as part of the Four Horsemen.
So now he's a 2-time BoW Hall of Famer.
2-time BoW Hall of Famer. For the PWI, had 3-time Feud of the Year, 5-time Match of the Year, 6-time Wrestler of the Year, and he had the Match of the Decade from 2000 2009 with him versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24.
And he also aged extremely fast from like 2003 to 2004. He changes drastically.
Yes. Yes, he does. And the life on the road really started taking wear and tear on him. Most notably for Flair, you remember the Flair for the Gold, him carrying the NWA in the 80s. He was the megastar.
Styling and profiling.
Other guys would come in, Sting, guys like that.
Dusty.
He would build them up, give them the title, and it would always come back to Flair. Many people think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's on my top 10 list. I wouldn't put him in the top 5 probably for me. But great. He's had an incredible career. So many world championships. His real record of 21 will never be touched. No one's ever going to do that, especially in the landscape we have now.
Except for Obafemi.
No, not even close. So, and then obviously Nature Boy has spawned Charlotte Flair and her legacy that she's on right now. So many memorable moments. Evolution. He was a big part of Evolution. He had the Four Horsemen, which is one of the original factions. So Ric Flair brought a lot to this business. And a guy who, before he ever became anything, was in a plane crash, broke his back, didn't think he'd ever wrestle again, and then became one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
That is pretty crazy, yeah.
A crazy life. Still can't believe he's still kicking it, honestly. And all the guys we've lost.
Yeah, out of everybody that's died.
Still pounding it out there. So. Okay. Now moving on to, we got 2 more guys left in the BoW Hall of Fame class. And the next guy on the list is a guy that really you can't not have a Hall of Fame without this guy in it. It is the immortal, the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan.
And if you're paying attention, he was not the number one.
Nope, he's not the
unanimous one. So there's somebody that's higher up.
Yeah. So Hulk Hogan is in the Hall of Fame. Now, he did have a pretty good score of 6, so it was pretty close, but yeah, Hulk Hogan was not the unanimous selection. He did have 13 World Heavyweight Championship reigns. He had 6 with the WWF, 6 with WCW, and 1 with IWGP.
Oh.
He's a 1-time tag team champion, 3-time WWE Hall of Famer, the 1983 IWGP Tag League champion, and then for the PWI, 1-time Feud of the Year, 4-time Match of the Year, 3-time Wrestler of the Year, and he was a 1-time PWI number 1 out of the top 500. His 3-time Hall of Fame, he is solo. They got no 5. He was in with the NWO. And then just this year, he got put in the match. What are they calling that? Moment or something?
No, it's got a specific name. I can't. Yeah.
Of the year with Andre
at
WrestleMania 3. So 3-time WWE Hall of Famer. Hogan was amazing. He has probably one of the greatest heel. Okay, yes, the character.
We had to say, you said it for the other person earlier in the show.
He had a lot of problems. Yes. He carried WWE and WWF in the 80s, in the golden era.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably one of the most recognizable wrestlers of all time in that era.
And now.
Everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is. I mean, he literally spawned other things out. So many different things. He had his own TV show, all this stuff. Had one of the greatest heel turns of all time.
Yep.
Becoming the third man with the NWO. He just was that quintessential, no matter what Hulk Hogan did in wrestling, he was going to be a top star. And unfortunately, WCW, he kind of let that be known, and he kind of made it that way. And that's kind of what one of the problems with WCW was. But even in his return, he has one of the biggest moments in WWE history when they have the return at WrestleMania 18, and it's him and The Rock squaring off before their match.
Icon versus icon.
So many great moments. Eventually, he had his last match in WWE against Randy Orton. Had that little feud.
Isn't that where he RKO's him over the car?
Yep, he RKO's him with the car. He ends up going to TNA, trying to revive TNA. And it didn't go great. He spent about 3 years there. I mean, it put eyeballs on TNA, but it kind of fizzled out, unfortunately. Made his big return, host WrestleMania 30, had the big moment with Stone Cold and The Rock. He kind of had that, the problems he had. We're not going to talk about them on here, but he had all that problems where he kind of got banished, put away, all this kind of stuff. He made his comeback in recent years, and everyone, it didn't go so hot, but, the legend of Hulk Hogan
It's hot for him now.
is what we're putting in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, you can't tell me there's a bigger money-making draw in wrestling, ever, probably,
No, probably not ever.
than Hulk Hogan. And more recognized name. So, he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame class. And it's so many great accomplishments for him.
But now it's time for the unanimous number one Hall of Fame inductee for the men.
So, the unanimous selection for the male wrestlers, our final inductee into the 2026 BoW Hall of Fame, our first annual one, is the champ, John Cena.
I mean, it had to be.
The GOAT, never seen 17. What else he got? Dr. Thuganomics.
He's got everything.
I mean, there's not a better guy. The Make-A-Wish thing in and of itself, what he did with that. There's not a better guy to have as our headlining guy for this class than John Cena. Now, yeah, might have had some problems behind the scenes with some people, using some power, but this is wrestling. What wrestler didn't do that? So, he ended up, obviously, we all know, with 17 world titles, 14 WWE, 3 World Heavyweight Championships. He was a 5-time U.S. champ, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 4-time Tag Team, 2 with the World, 2 with the WWE, 11-time Slammy Award winner. He won the 2012 Money in the Bank, 2-time Royal Rumble winner in 2008 and 2013. For PWI, he had 2-time Feud of the Year, 6-time Match of the Year, 2-time Wrestler of the Year, and 3 times he was the PWI #1 of the top 500. Sorry. Not much you can't say about John Cena. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Honestly, in terms of overall package, I would put him as my number 2.
Whoa.
He was one of the reasons I got into wrestling. It's hard not to, with all the accomplishments he has, all the main events, all the big time matches, the fact that he carried the company in parades, one of its worst periods.
That was brutal.
His back and took it into where we're at now. And some people don't like where we're at now, but he carried this company when we were going through the PG era. All these eras where the wrestling was really falling off. Who was having some of the best matches? Cena. Cena versus Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. Cena versus Punk Raw 2013. He had the once in a lifetime with Rock, twice in a lifetime.
Cena AJ.
He would do the jobs for Brock came back. Yeah, he beat him at Extreme Rules, but he took the beating. He took all the stuff. He took the beating at SummerSlam from Brock. He built up AJ into becoming a star. Yes, he buried some people, but
The U.S. Championship Open Challenge was cool.
what are we talking about here? I mean, Ryback? Come on now.
Right,
Okay.
right.
We buried Ryback. Don't.
Wade Barrett. Wade.
Okay, so Nexus, yeah, that wasn't the greatest, but here we are. But John Cena had an amazing career. The thing about John Cena for us is that, yeah, we started watching wrestling in 2007, but we like to go back. We went back, and now we've gone back through all the history. But you can watch Cena's entire career in one place, through the whole thing, the whole way through, and it's just something to appreciate. A guy starting with nothing. He's not a Kurt Angle coming in with this huge pedigree. He's not a high flyer. He doesn't have a special skill. He just had guts, determination, and a whole lot of strength. And he used that and played that perfectly into his character. He lived what he preached to the kids. Hustle, loyalty, respect. He deserves to be our headlining act in the 2026 BoW Hall of Fame class.
Yes.
So, anything you want to say about any of the inductees?
Just congratulations to everybody that has been inducted into the first ever BoW Hall of Fame. They'll get their rings in the mail. The ring pop rings. And we will be posting these on our Facebook page. All the inductees will get their honorary page post. And if you want to go check that out, Brothers Wrestling on Facebook, Brothers Wrestling on YouTube. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed the first ever BoW Hall of Fame. We'll see you in the next one.
Yep, it was real fun making the list, and we'll do it every year around WrestleMania time. And we already got the ballot ready for next year, and we'll just wait until it gets closer to vote on it. But we got some fresh faces in, and it's going to be interesting to see who we keep getting involved into this Hall of Fame. It was fun to do the first one, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So I hope you all enjoyed the podcast, and I hope everybody enjoyed our picks for the Hall of Fame. And if you got any disagreements, anybody else you have in mind, please let us know. We'll add them to the ballot for next year and everything like that. So anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, then thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Peace.